Hey there YouTube, MartNezz here. Welcome back. So, you know, my wife calls me a lot of things, but jerk might be my favorite because I am what I eat and I am what I make, and that's what we're doing today. We're gonna make some beef jerky. I'm sporting my R&M shirt today because that's where I got my jerky meat. If there's one thing I like to do other than eat their beef jerky is I like to grab their jerky meat that they'll sell to you, so that way I can make my own jerky here at home. Not a bad price. They use a quality beef, and for $5.79 a pound, it sure beats having to go and buy like a $6 or $7 roast, slice it up myself. They give me nice even slices, and all I got to do is kind of come up with some flavor in a dehydrator, and hopefully 8 to 10 hours I'll be eating. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about that today. I got some brown sugar here. I got some sort of a soy sauce thing here. Heinz 57 is the sauce I like to use. I don't really like to use it for dipping as much as I used to, but I do enjoy its flavor when it comes to my beef jerky. I have a little bit of liquid smoke left over. Now sometimes when I make my jerky, I like to start it off on my grill so I can get a nice hickory smoke into that. I'm going to cheat today and use some of this liquid smoke here. I got some crushed red peppers, Worcestershire sauce, and if you guys seen my hot sauce video, I got some of this garlic hot sauce here, garlic habanero. I'm going to douse a bunch of that in there. I got to figure out a way to get rid of some of these hot sauces, so I figured this is going to be a great way to do it. I'll probably empty the whole bottle. And then I got my cayenne red pepper, and I should have some salt up here as well. So, and then brown sugar. Brown sugar is kind of, it's an interesting one because I never used it for a long time, and then I tried it once because I read somewhere that it's a flavor enhancer, and it really brings out some of the flavors. So I'm going to use some of that as well. Again, guys, this is not by any means a tutorial on how to make the best beef jerky, because this is straight up mad scientist. Pour some stuff in a bag, add some meat, and see what happens. Now I get a lot of people that say, you know, they find out how much jerky I eat and how much I like the jerky and all that good stuff, and they tell me, or they ask me, do you ever make your own? And almost every single time when they ask me that, I always say yes. And then I also follow it up with, when it comes to me making beef jerky, it got to be the closest thing to a drug addict making their favorite drugs, because I mean, I hardly get it out of the dehydrator and let it rest and settle before it's all gone. It don't take me long to eat it at all. So I know that's a horrible analogy, but that's how I kind of look at it, I guess. So anyways, I want to guys bring in closer. We'll get a bird's eye view, and we'll get the sauce mixed. Alright guys, one of the first things I like to do is I'm going to add some of my soy sauce in here. Oh, it has one of those dibbers in their thing, whatever they call them. It's alright, we're not going to add a lot of that. Alright. Let's see here. What's next here? We're going to add some Worcestershire sauce. And then what I might do is I'm going to add my other like powdered seasonings. I'm going to add a bunch of salt in there. You know, some people like to add cure to this stuff. I can't do that because for the simple fact, it will not last that long. So why do I need to cure it? So usually any jerky I make only lasts 24, 38, or 36 hours, something like that. Add a lot of cayenne pepper. Love that stuff. I'm going to add my crushed red pepper. Now normally when I make this stuff, I typically like to typically like to marinate it overnight. Today I'm only going to marinate for maybe 2-3 hours. Unfortunately, with the rat race of life on a Friday afternoon when I get out of work, I was plenty tired and did not feel like I had the energy to produce a very good video. So here I am, early Saturday morning, adding Heinz 57 sauce to a bag of jerky marinade. Now, you can substitute the Heinz 57 with other kinds of sauces. I've done like Sweet Baby Ray's and all sorts. Some devil spit for some heat. You know, this in particular stuff ain't going to be too spicy. If I wanted to make it spicy, I'd probably add that Scorpion Tabasco sauce instead of this garlic habanero one from my hot sauce video. But, you know, again, like I said, I got 10 bottles, or excuse me, like 12 bottles in there that I just got to figure out what I want to do with. And it's going to take me forever to go through them. So this I'm going to try not to make too big of a mess. But I'm just going to add a little clump here. Probably a little more than that. Just going to squeeze it out. Whoops. There we go, that'll do. Whoops, made a mess, that's alright. Alright, now I'm going to add my liquid smoke. I didn't do that before because I wanted to make sure to be able to drown that in there. Drown it up. And I believe that is everything here that I got. I'll mix it up a little bit. Make sure I don't cut it open with my scissors because that would be bad. Yeah. This is going to be good, guys. I wish you guys could smell that. Because that smells like money to me. You know, nothing's gonna beat the smell of what this jerky is gonna smell like when it's cooking down here in my basement on the dehydrator. You can see right there, that's already meat slices there. Perfect, nice pretty strips for me to use. Now I could just dump the whole bag in there, but I like to pull it out and separate the pieces just a little bit. I feel like I get a much better turnout for as far as the consistency throughout the entire meat. I've had it before, maybe I just didn't stir it up enough. I've had it before where I go ahead and I throw just this whole glob of meat in there, and when I go to pull the meat out and start putting them on my trays, they end up like the inner layers just don't get the flavor like the outer layers did. So I always make sure to piece by piece just pull them out, slide them in. And now, just like any other marinade I make with these Ziploc bags, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let a lot of the air out, mix it up, and then what I'm going to do is once an hour I will go ahead and rotate this bag of jerky. Just like that. I'll have it flipped on this side for an hour, and then I'll flip it on that side for an hour. That will help make sure that it evenly marinates. So, alright guys, I will check back in with you guys when I'm about ready to throw the meat on the dehydrator over here. And then after that, it'll just be a hurry up and wait situation. maybe have a couple drinks, hang out with the kids, hang out with the wife. And then a treat towards the end of the night, we'll be having a piece of jerky. So we'll see you guys then. Thanks. Alright guys, I've been marinating my meat here for a little while now. I think I'm ready to go ahead and throw it in my dehydrator here. You know, it's funny, you know, I didn't want to do this video earlier in the day or late last night because I was worried about getting too tired. Well, as it comes to find out here, when I do it in the morning, I tend to forget a few things. So I actually forgot to add that hot sauce from my hot sauce videos in there, the garlic habanero. So after the video ended, I went ahead and threw that in too. So got a mixture of that in there as well. So now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and open up my dehydrator here and just start placing it on here. Now one little pro tip I'd give you guys is I always like to lay it on some paper towels, just like I got now. I don't know if you can see that too well, but I got some paper towels laid down. That way I can put my tray on there, and it kind of makes the cleanup part a little bit easier. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to lay these out a little bit. I'll be dehydrating this with on like about 135, 140 degrees. I think a lot of the recipes I've ever read, a lot of times they'll say go ahead and do it at you know, a little higher, maybe 158, 160 if you want to. This in particular dehydrator actually says that it will cook jerky in like 4.5 hours at that temperature, because it has a nice fan in there, so it really keeps the circulation going. Now I won't flip them or anything, but what I will do is on the one side as I put them down, I will just put a little bit more of the cayenne pepper here on, just to give it a little extra zest. I have experimented with trying to put some different kinds of sauces on here, or I'm sorry, seasonings. Like I'm a big fan of the Grill Mates, as you probably see in some of my other videos, that when I'm cooking I use the Grill Mates. But what I find when I use the Grill Mates is when you go to bite into them, when it's all said and done, the seasoning is kind of a hard, and it can kind of really hurt your teeth when you crunch into it, because it's such a bulky seasoning. So when I go ahead and I top this off, I always like to use something that's really fine. So most of the time I use the ground cayenne pepper. Now one thing I want to try one of these times is, I've seen in the store where you can buy, it's called like a jalapeno salt or something like that. I thought that would be kind of fun to try one of these times. So probably in a future video. One thing I want to try doing is I want to experiment with some of these other ones that I got, or some of the more store-bought seasoning packets you can buy. So that might be coming in a future video. Let's see, it might help if I put another tray down, huh? Oh, look at this little guy ain't gonna last very long. It's only gonna have 3 pieces of jerky on it. Oh, see right there. I don't know if you guys caught that, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. This I went ahead and pulled those apart. Apparently I didn't pull them apart very good, because when I pulled them apart before marinating them, you can tell they still had a lot of like no flavor in there. So maybe we'll add a little extra cayenne pepper on there. So alright guys, so that is everything as far as this goes. I guess we will check back in with me when I am ready to taste our rewards here. So hopefully it turns out okay. Like I said, I typically like to marinate this stuff for typically I like to marinate this stuff for overnight, pretty much. I like to do it right before I go to bed. That way when I get up in the morning, I can go ahead and throw it in the dehydrator. So alright guys, we will see you in probably, I don't know, 6 to 10 hours. We'll see how it looks. I usually start checking on it at the 6-hour mark, and then about every hour after that, and hopefully I don't eat it all before I can record it. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright you jerks, I'm back, and we're at the ending of my jerky video here today. Not gonna lie, after the 4-hour mark, I just went ahead and kind of started munching on this stuff. Yep, I'm sorry guys, I am an addict. So at this point, I think 7 hours, 8 hours in the dehydrator. This is all I got left here. I got, you know, almost 5 pieces. Nice and dry. You know, not a whole lot better in life than hot jerky right out of the dehydrator. But when I let it cool, that's where I get my nice crispy texture at. And that is my profile of jerky. R&M Meats supplied me with the beef today. Can't go wrong with their price. Can't go wrong with the fact that it's already sliced up. You just got to marinate it and dry it. So, you know, one thing I am really shocked. Is even though I went ahead and only marinated this for about 3 hours, the flavor is great. I can taste that Heinz 57 sauce. It's just kind of a hint. And that garlic habanero gives it that heat. And everything else just kind of pulls it together. So, guys, thank you for watching my video. Be sure to hit that like button. And be sure to subscribe to get all my videos. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.